how's it going? I'm Andy Buckley. I'm the wax technician for the United States Snowboard team, just for the border crossers. Currently I'm working for Nick Baumgartner, who's riding for Oxus, and Hagen Kearney, who's on Apex Snowboards. So yeah, we're going to do a quick little demonstration on how to maybe clean up your board at home and have a little bit more fun out there on the hill. So a board like this definitely doesn't come across my bench too much, but you can see his board has not been, taken care of all that well. How dry it's getting here along the edges. So before you'd wax, you'd want to clean up your edges. These are just diamond stones that you can buy at hardware stores or ski tuning shops. They're a very inexpensive item. They sharpen and polish your edge at the same time. So what you want to do is just clean that up, and that noise you're hearing is Oliver's edges getting smoothed out, and all the big dings getting taken out. Make that nice and smooth. Then you can go along your side edge. So you hear those sounds where it stops the stone. Those are called burrs from hitting rocks and different things along the trail. You want to finish on the base edge with this diamond stone. Gummy stone will take down some burrs and detune your edges a little bit. So I always will just dull them out, round them out in those edges, and then take a couple of light passes up and down. You don't want your tip and tail to be real sharp. That's going to be fine for most of your recreational riding. So once your edges are cleaned up and all the burrs are knocked off, and they're clean and smooth, so your iron isn't going to be catching on the edges and scratching the base of your iron. Now it's time to get into the waxing. An ideal brush to have, if you're going to have just one brush as a consumer, is a good brass and horsehair combination. But since Oliver's board here has seen some abuse, we're going to go with one of the big guns. And this is a steel brush. With this, I'm being real aggressive, trying to get that brush in there and cleaning the base out before you even grind. That is something everyone should do. We'll pull it out. So, when you're waxing, wax is all temperature specific. The colder it gets, you're going to need to progressively get colder with your waxes. Most companies use the same color coding. Yellow is going to be their warm ones. Red gets colder, purple, blue. Turn it up, hotter or colder depending on the wax. If it starts to smoke a lot, your iron's too hot. But the problem with those home irons is the temperature doesn't stay consistent. These big fat waxing irons will hold a real solid temperature. Use the iron and drip on. I usually go with 3 big fat strips for a snowboard, just off the edge for the first one, big one down the middle, another one off to the side.
But let's assume we can't get permission, so we have to find another solution.
Constantly keep the iron moving.
This one next door,
You just want to keep a nice, smooth consistent speed to help melt that wax and get it to spread out and cover the base nice and evenly. So after the base has a good coverage of wax in that first pass, I will do another pass down the center and both sides at a little bit slower pace, ensuring that the wax is completely melted and liquid a little bit behind the iron, but it dries pretty quick. Swix recommends 10 minutes where the wax you just want it to come back down to room temperature. Okay, now we got Oliver's board. We did his edges and we waxed it. Now we're going to scrape. Wax scraper. It's just this is a 4mm. It's just acrylic. They sell them in all shops. Super cheap. Wherever you buy your wax, pick up a scraper. For at-home purposes, a piece of sandpaper will work just fine. Any kind of 90-degree surface, back and forth like that. I'll usually turn it around again, kind of move the 90 there. It's a cheap, inexpensive way to get a sharp edge as well for at home. Keep your scraper sharp. Clean off the sidewall. This is just a normal dish scrubbing little sponge. You want to make sure you scrape everything off the base. Once we scraped off all the wax on the surface, go back to that brush I told you about, and you want to brush out the board and get out the smaller amounts of wax that are in between the stone grind structure. And the only wax that's left is on the microscopic level. Help you to slide faster. That's basically all there is. Go out there and have some fun. We'll see you on the mountain.